Hello everybody, it's Breezy, and today we're going to be reading from r/Boomers Being Fools. Why? Because idiots make me laugh, especially entitled idiots who get what's coming to them. So, if you enjoy this content, keep watching. Now, let's get on with our first story. Boomer goes ballistic on me in the doctor's office. The too long didn't read is I'm 32 weeks pregnant and have cardio-neuro issues. I attended an appointment for an EKG/Holter monitor yesterday. I am visibly pregnant while standing, but not while sitting. Boomer freaked out at me for taking an open seat while waiting for my registration because there was no way I needed to be there, and I was taking seats from those in need. Then, surprise, surprise, turns to racially insensitive comments and remarks. I'm a 24 female, 32 weeks pregnant, with a high-risk pregnancy because of previously unexplained cardio issues and epilepsy diagnosis. I have been experiencing worsening symptoms for a few weeks, along with a few syncopal episodes, and my OB referred to me to cardiology for an EKG and a Holter monitor placement because they are not willing to brush it off as pregnancy-related due to my history. My neuro issues are under control. Also, keep in mind that I am small-framed and most people can't even tell I'm pregnant when I'm sitting down. You can only tell when I stand up. Anyways, I get to patient registration at 7:30 for my 8:15 a.m. EKG. It's packed full of boomers, with a smattering of young people, mostly what I assume to be people in their 40s or 50s. I sign in at the kiosk, put my wristband on, with name, date of birth, and check-in time, and sit down, waiting for my name to be called to go over paperwork. There were only a few seats open, and I had no choice but to sit right next to another patient, even though I usually like to leave room between myself and others. The boomer I sat next to was talking loudly on the phone to God knows who, making comments about how busy it was for a Wednesday morning, and snarking about how some young kid sat next to her, even though there were other seats open, albeit hardly any, and all next to other patients waiting. How I seemed fine and that I probably didn't even need to be there. That I probably saw a video on the TikToks and diagnosed myself with a fake disorder. I laughed quietly and just waited for my name to be called. Boomer was even more mad that I was taking a seat from someone who may have needed it because I appeared to be fine and healthy. She even made comments about how I was probably just looking for a fake diagnosis so I could get handouts from the government so I didn't have to work. After a few moments of sitting next to her, Boomer glances at my wristband, makes a comment under her breath about my name. My first name is Common/Easy, but my last name is hyphenated, waiting on my name change paperwork. The first part of my last name is very Greek, and the second part of the last name is a common Hispanic last name. Boomer starts making comments about wondering if I am here legally, or if I'm going to get my appointment for free since they give everything to immigrants these days. Oh my God! Side note, I will admit a lot of people don't know my background because I have dark curly hair and dark features, which could be anything. But once they find out I'm Greek, they're usually like, oh, that makes so much sense. Anywho, I tried to ignore this since it was incredibly insensitive, rude, and tone-deaf considering the current climate. Also, who even cares if someone gets medical treatment for free? The U.S. healthcare insurance system is a disaster anyway. Boomer starts glaring at me at this point and asks why I'm in cardiology. I didn't want to be rude, so I just replied simply, I have to get an EKG, and then get up to get a cup of water. Boomer must have noticed I was pregnant and retorts to her friend on the phone, "Of
course she's pregnant. She's a Mexican.
Oh my God! Ah. No. I was speechless. While I'm up getting water, my name gets called and I head up to the desk to fill out paperwork and sign consent forms. Boomer sees me get up and starts loudly shouting to one of the clerks, claiming it was unfair that I got called before she did, since she was here the moment the office opened. Oh God. Everyone starts staring at her because of her increasing volume and frustration, and the clerk decides to come over and check her wristband to see what time she signed in. She starts literally screeching that I need to be removed from the patient registration lobby because I was cutting in line and I didn't even need to be there because I'm a young person with
Probably no health issues.
and the clerks try to calm her down, and she claims she wants them to call security on me to look at my license and verify my identity to see if I even had one. Oh my God! Security was called, but not on me. A security officer showed up, but I have no clue what happened after that because I ended up leaving to go to my EKG. It also turns out she never signed in, so she was never going to be called by a clerk because her name wasn't in the system. There's really no end or moral to this story other than, I guess if you look healthy, you can't possibly have health issues. And you also can't have a hyphenated last name, or be Greek, or marry a Mexican man, or have a mistake made on your name change paperwork when you get married, or else it looks like I might be here illegally. Which is nuts, and also impossible to be illegal. Thanks for reading. So, I don't know what it is about boomers thinking that they need to insert themselves in everyone's business for the sake of I don't even know what. Their egos can be so huge sometimes that one thing that they don't understand or one thing that doesn't happen in their own little bubble in their mind, and it's immediately wrong. And then they start freaking out like this woman did. I blame the lead and asbestos exposure. Okay, so on to the next story. A boomer just called where I work and yelled at me because our website asked if he was human. We've all seen the CAPTCHAs and the other bot checks, so we know what's going on, but apparently this was the first time this boomer has seen one. This was the conversation. Oh no. Okay, pause the video, go get some popcorn and a drink, and when you come back, hold on to your butts, 'cause this has gotta be good. How can I help? Why did your website ask if I was a human? Excuse me? Your website. I just visited it and it asked me if I was a human. Oh, right, that's a safety feature to prevent bot accounts from accessing our merchandise. Well, clearly I am a human, otherwise I wouldn't be going on your website. Oh God, this guy clearly has no idea how internet bots work. I understand, but the website was just verifying it. What a stupid question! Of course I'm a human! Okay then. And then it was just silence. I'm guessing he was trying to pick a fight or something and got flustered when I simply said, okay then. So he didn't know what to say next. To break the silence, I just asked, is there anything I can help you with? And then he just hung up. I've had some stupid boomers call before, but that was a first. Yeah, most of them don't understand modern technology and refuse to learn modern technology, or maybe they'll try to learn and I highly doubt they're playing stupid, because I wholeheartedly believe the lead and asbestos exposure has kept them from learning anything new. It's not just the old age. I've seen some elderly people who are quite capable of learning new things and modern technology. Anyways, on to the next one. Angry boomer intentionally damaged my car and then proceeded to back into another by accident. I had a doctor's appointment and some testing today. Unfortunately, the office is located inside one of our local hospitals, which means that the parking lot can be a headache to navigate. When I finally found a few vacant spots, I noticed a Jeep SUV and a small pickup truck parked poorly side by side. To avoid parking awkwardly and risking my car door hitting someone else's vehicle, I decided to park a couple spots down. As I was getting out of my car, the owner of the pickup, a small and very unpleasant old man, approached his vehicle but walked around the Jeep to inspect the poor parking job, shaking his head as if he weren't parked the same way, partially in the next spot. As he got into his truck, he took a moment to slam his door against the Jeep, not just once, but 3 or 4 times. Oh my god! This guy, why do they do this? That was a very idiotic thing to do. Oh my god, especially with all the security cameras around nowadays. Leaving a noticeable dent. While it wasn't my vehicle, it absolutely burned my ass. I get extremely frustrated when people park irresponsibly, but I've never resorted to vandalizing another car with my own. Of course, I made sure he knew I saw what he did and told him it was uncalled for. He then began to back up into another car that was passing through the aisle. Well, that was just instant karma right there. I tried to get his attention about the car behind him. He looked at me but seemed to disregard my warning. He didn't hit the other vehicle hard, and the owner let him go. His response to me about slamming the door into the Jeep was, "I don't care. Look how they parked." He then told me to piss off. So I took pictures of both his license plate and the Jeep's license plate and brought them to the security office. They weren't sure if the security cameras captured the door incident, but it was worth a try. It might have been for nothing, but if someone had seen him damage my car, I would hope that they would do the same thing. Update. I reached out and an officer got my statement. The best they can do is reach out to the owner of the Jeep now that they have the plates and make them aware. If the owner chooses to report it from there, they can deal with it accordingly. Yeah, again, I blame the lead and asbestos exposure for rotting their brains. This was just a full-on toddler-level tantrum he threw. He saw something he didn't like, it made him angry, and he had to let out the angry parts in the worst way possible, with his fists. Or in this case, a car door. Because all they know how to do when they get mad is to throw their hands around. It's just a gigantic temper tantrum, and we hate dealing with it, man. They're the worst. Anyways, let's go ahead and cleanse our palates with a few memes. And keeping up with today's theme of boomers, I've got some disgusting vintage boomer recipes for you. Let's have a look. This is a tuna and jello pie. Nothing goes better with jello than fish. Especially tuna. Here's what an individual slice looks like. God, it's black and there's chunks of jello in it. And you know that it's lime flavor. It was always lime flavor with these recipes. Oh my god. Just, that is disgusting. Oh my god. Hot dog fondue? More like hot dog fondue. What What is that? They look like eldritch horrors or something. Why would you cut them like that? No, thank you. But look at all the awesome ways you can cut them, though. You can make it look like another eldritch horror, or an S, or a hot dog that's been cut. I don't know. Just why would you fondue a hot dog? There are other types of sausages you can do that with, like a brat. That would be much better. And where is the fondue part? All I see is a plate of hot dogs on a bed of, I don't know what those are. Are those potatoes? I will say that stuffed tomato kind of looks good, but then again, these recipes were almost always questionable, so I'm kind of questioning what it's stuffed with. What are you stuffed with, tomato? Okay, this meme's old but gold. I first found this on a meme website back in high school, and it's just been circling the internet as one of the most infamous recipes, but ham and bananas hollandaise. It's exactly what it sounds like. You take bananas, you wrap them in ham, and not even the good ham. You get the cheapest lunch meat ham you can find. And then you just top it with hollandaise sauce, probably the instant hollandaise sauce as well. Doesn't that sound tasty? No, thank you. That's revolting. Cup steak puddings.
Blech. Blech.
Ugh. Ugh. Get that shit out of here. Banana candle. Oh my god. Why is it so phallic shaped? God, should I censor this? I mean, it's just a banana, but why does it have stuff dripping down? And what are you using for the wick? How would you even eat this thing? God, I'm asking way too many questions that I don't want to know the answer to. Oh God, get this off my screen. Okay, those were pretty gross, but now that our palates have been cleansed, let's get on with the last few stories, shall we? Boomer lady hits my car, tries to run, I follow her to a restaurant parking lot, and she tries to tell me she didn't hit me. Of course she did. They don't do anything wrong, it's all your fault. Most of them actually believe that too. Anyways, so I get sideswept because she tried changing into my lane. Scrapes just underneath the gas cap, whatever. We pull out over and exchange info, and that'll be that. Nope. She continues to drive. We get to a stoplight, and I'm laying on my horn, and she turns her entire head away from me with the windows rolled up while I'm staring directly into her driver's side window. Oh, that woman knows damn well what she's doing. We do this for about 5 minutes until she pulls into a restaurant. I snap a pic of the license, because she hasn't got out yet, and I walk up and tell her, "Hey, you hit my car." She looks flabbergasted.
No, I didn't. If I hit something, I would know.
Would you? I tell her I've been following you for 2 miles, laying on my horn. If you can't hear me and you can't realize you hit somebody on the road, you shouldn't be driving. She doubles down, and I get so fed up, I don't yell, but I get very mean until she finally gives me her insurance info after I threaten to call the cops. She tells me she's never been in an accident at 62, and I say there's a first time for everything, and I walk away while she says sorry. Why lie, then backtrack, then try to leave, then finally give me your insurance info and apologize? We could have handled this like adults if you just owned up to it, but you forced me to nearly call the police because you can't fathom you making a mistake. Idiot. So she thought if she could just run away, you wouldn't chase her. And then she thought if she could just talk to you and intimidate you enough or talk you in circles enough, then you would, again, just go away. It wasn't until you threatened to call the police and she got the threat of actually facing consequences of her actions, that she finally did the responsible thing and gave you her info. I have a dad who's also 62, and he never acts like this, so it's not entirely a generational thing. Like, I've seen some younger people who can be very entitled, just as much as the older generation. This is not a generational thing. This is more of a mix, probably a mix between how they were raised versus how they see the world, how they see themselves in the world. They are on top of the world. Well, they get to look down on everyone else, and if they can just play the system just enough, they don't have to face consequences. And it's thanks to people like you, OP, who show them otherwise. Like, no, some of us are going to hold you accountable. Anyways, on to the next story. Racist boomer. Obvious warning for racism. This happened almost half a decade ago, but I didn't think about it until recently, and thought I'd share this little anecdote of my time dealing with a racist boomer. I was working in a hospital delivering food. Yes, and here we see the two natural habitats for the boomer tantrum: food-related places and medical-related places. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I think I'm funny. Anyways, that day the lunch meal had a side of rice to complement the dish itself. Most people had just been happy to see someone bringing them food instead of coming to poke and prod them and put arm pressure cuffs on them. Not Captain Boomer, the first racist. No, sirree. I placed his tray in front of him, and the minute the lid was lifted, "Is that rice? Do I look like a slur for Asian people to you?" I froze up. I'd lived a very lucky life to not have directly encountered racism like that. I'd seen it from a distance, and usually in fiction, never had it thrown in my face like that. I just said, "No, it's just a side for the dish." I don't think he heard me, because the next thing out of his mouth was, "You some kind of slur." I do not even look remotely Asian. This did not stop him from repeating the question several times until I backed out of the room. According to the nurse sitting at the station near his room, he'd been dropping slurs to any non-white staff and being racist about them to the white staff, as if he expected white people around him to automatically think his ignorance was God's gift to humor. I know there's going to be a lot of comments telling me I should have punched him in the face, or done something else to get him in trouble, or deliver karma for his racism. I envy the mindscape you craft for yourselves, where you think that when you're encountered with this stuff, you're going to immediately be able to fire back. The truth is, encountering racism directly to your face, even when it's not directed at your race, it's jarring. It's disgusting. Fuck that guy. Okay, so unfortunately, this level of racism is a bit of a generational thing, particularly amongst the older boomers. The ones who are still around anyway, but yeah, it is gross, and they think they can get away with it, and they expect everyone else who's the same race as them to be on their side, and then they're all shocked Pikachu face when they find out otherwise. And then they blame society, and they're all like, kids these days, you know? It's ridiculous. Anyways, the last story's a little bit better and a little less dark, but I hope you all enjoy. Let's get on with the last story of the evening. Lack of reading comprehension. I work customer service for a broker-dealer. Sometimes the companies that we deal with send out mailings with our name and phone number on them. In this case, a lady got a letter that said, "This is your annual notification of your banking instructions we have on file. Please verify they are correct. If they are, you do not need to do anything. And it had her bank info on there. Conversation went as follows. My company, I'm OP. How can I help you?
Yes, I received this letter and it doesn't have a dollar amount on it.
Okay, may I have your account to look it up and see what's going on?
It's 4-digit number.
I need the full account number to look it up, ma'am.
Well, I don't have that.
I can look you up by your social security number then.
I don't give that out.
I need it to look you up.
Here's the last 4 digits.
I need your full social in order to look you up.
I don't like this. It's
Give social. Thank you. Looking her up. Can I please verify your full name?
It's Boomer.
Full name, please.
Boomer Lady.
Thank you. Okay. Looks like this was a notification of payment instructions. If the bank info there is wrong, we can update it.
But why doesn't it have a dollar amount on it? They usually do.
Me pulling up mailings. This is not a transaction confirmation like past letters. It's asking if the banking info we have on file is still correct.
Well, it is, but I don't understand why it doesn't have a dollar amount on it.
It's not a transaction. No money movement took place. It is not the same type of letter. If the banking info is wrong, we can update it.
It's not wrong, but it should have a dollar amount on it.
It doesn't because we didn't transfer money to you.
Well, can you tell me how much money is coming to me?
Banging my head against the desk at this point. No, because no transaction took place. This letter isn't telling you we're sending you money. It's only asking about your bank info. If it's correct, you do not need to do anything.
It's correct.
Then is there anything else I can help you with?
I need to know how much money I'm getting.
You'll receive a letter with your next transaction with that amount. I hope you have a wonderful night. Boomer Lady hangs up. How many fucking ways can you say they aren't the same thing? If you just read the letter, it tells you exactly what it is. Jesus Christ, how do these people get through life without basic fucking reading comprehension? Also, you called me. Give me the info I need to help you, crazy lady. Yeah, I do not understand what type of safety protocols they think they're trying to issue for themselves, but they want you to look up their account, but they don't want to give you their name, they don't want to give you their phone number, they don't want to give you their soch, they don't want to give you this, give you that, they don't want to give you the information they need in order for you to look up the information. I'm pretty sure I've read a few stories before I started doing YouTube about some of them asking for pizza delivery and not wanting to give their address because that's personal information. Well, yeah, but how are they going to deliver the pizza to the right place if they don't have your information? And furthermore, they don't like to read, so they want you to explain it to them. And then no matter how clearly you explain it to them, they're still not going to comprehend. It's like you might as well be you might as well be speaking a foreign language with them at that point. Well, that's going to do it for tonight. If you enjoy my content and want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe, hit that bell, and give a like and a comment. And if you want to support me, feel free to follow me on Patreon. Link in the description down below. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time I post. Bye!